Hello! Shadowcat back with more Guild Wars 2, and it's just me this time. Everyone is busy. Like, literally everyone is busy. I mean, Gorik is busy working in a lab somewhere going over all this stuff. I presume Rama's helping him. I have no idea where Marjorie is, or Casimir, or any of them. And even Blizzard is gone. Presumably, I assume that she's either out building more arrows after cleaning out the local economy, unsharpening her hammer because hammers shouldn't be sharp, and so why would you let that happen, or harassing the local wildlife looking for new pets. Either way, though, it has left me here by myself and unsupervised. And what do I do when I'm unsupervised? Apparently, nothing. I need a hobby. Anyway, though, that's not really an option for right now, so what we are going to do is Gorik has been working and apparently leaving log entries that we need to go through. I don't necessarily know what they are or what we're doing, but it's something important, right? I think. Either way, let's just go ahead and take a look. So there's a terminal over here. Somewhere? Here. Right, this thing. So let's just push the button and see what Gorik's left for us. Okay, listen to entry number 1.
Testing. Gorik, recording on behalf of Friend Detective Agency, on site at the Brotherhood's Jade excavation. After the recent demon run-in, our efforts to curtail Cantha's energy crisis are postponed. Me and my team of experts.
Your team, huh?
Our team is strategizing a plan to remove said demon from its power source, a ley line housed within the mine.
You're recording? Can I get some airtime? Engineering Grandmaster Yao here, reporting from the trenches of an illicit jade mining mega operation.
Yao, these are case notes, not a hollow news broadcast. I'll continue logging updates as they occur. Gorik, out.
Just trying to lighten the mood.
I mean, is there... There's not a lot of things to really lighten this mood. Like, there's a giant alien creature thing feeding off of ley lines, and apparently it feasts on trauma. How do you lighten that mood? Okay, what else we got, though? Entry number 2.
Case notes. Entry 2. Today I ran further analysis on the unknown element present in the commander's hay samples. Though still indeterminate, I suspect it's a byproduct of the demon, likely agitated by its confined ley line proximity. For now, I've set up a makeshift lab for experimentation here at the mine. It's humble, but rather quaint, if I do say. It will serve my needs for the time being. I just need to keep out a few nosy Kappa trespassers. As usual, I'll continue logging my research as it proves pertinent. Gorik, out.
You know, the funny thing about that is he mentions Kappa trespassers, but I remember clearly when we were assaulting Joko's fortress that Gorik is a full-blown hollowsmith. I mean, even when we went into the Aetherblade's hideout over in Xingzhou, he was able to override their hollowsmith technology and disable their photon forge. I feel like that not enough people give Gorik enough credit, myself included. He's actually kind of awesome. Alright, so what's next?
Case notes. Entry 3. An unexpected visitor dropped by. Chol Mu. I thought maybe he'd come to shut down my lab.
He was over here? Yeah, he does hate things built without his approval.
But he seemed to take an interest in my work, particularly the previously mentioned hay samples. Of course, I was thrilled to recount my current hypotheses, but he seemed more concerned about potential health effects.
He's been really torn up about his crew.
I'll continue updates once confidentiality can be maintained.
Sorry. Just curious about the research is all.
I mean, that's fair. And you know, good on him. I actually would not have expected that from him. He does not seem like a good person. But my judgment to people has never been the greatest thing. Alright, what else do we have?
While I usually record notes as soon as possible, the events that transpired recently required a moment to process. It began when one of those Kappa pets got into my equipment, while wreaking senseless havoc, smashed a hay sample. The sample was small. However, inhaling its contents in an enclosed area made me lightheaded. I knew it was unlikely to cause damage. Still, I went to recuperate on a cot at the medical tent. Once rested, I felt well enough to return to work. But when I opened my eyes, what I saw made my nausea return full force. Oh, Detective Rama, I mean...
Am I interrupting?
No. Just recording some research notes. I can get back to them later.
Okay, so what was it? Gorik, come on. Do I really need to tell an Asura how to keep proper notes? Like, I'm only Ash Legion. And even I know how to do this better. Get the job done. Entry 5.
Case notes. Entry 5. Rana visited to check in after my Kappa incident, which I suppose still needs explanation. Picking up where I left off. When I opened my eyes, I saw something I don't think I'll ever be able to forget. Lish was sitting across from me. Not in his golden body, but exactly how I remembered him from before his illness took over. He stared at me in a menacing way he never had before. And his body disintegrated into a mass of writhing beetles. They swarmed me. I can still feel the prickle of their claws across my skin. At the point I thought I might suffocate, they vanished. Next thing I remember, I was clinging tightly to Yao, sobbing. They comforted me until I could pull myself together. Once I found the words, I told them everything. They stayed with me for a long time. Then they returned later with some tea. I'm still shaken up and rather embarrassed about what happened. But I'm so grateful Yao was there to help me through it. I'm going to see Tiny soon. I plan to tell her everything that happened.
Honestly, that's expected, I think. Whatever this thing is, it feeds on trauma. I mean, that's why we saw Tybalt, we saw Air, we saw Almora. I'm sure if we were exposed longer to the haze, we would see more people, but the fact that Gorik saw Blish, I don't know that any of this is actually real. Like, I suspected that maybe it had some connection to the mist, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's literally just connected to our own subconscious. I don't know, it's hard to say. Alright, what else has he got?
Case note. Entry 6. I paid Timey a much-needed visit and told her everything. She has a way of making me feel better. We also spoke about the implications. We think the unknown element I've been studying is causing these effects. What's most troubling is that this incident confirms my earlier hypothesis. These hallucinations aren't random. Based on the commander's experiences, and now my own, the delusions appear to target prime emotional vulnerabilities. The how of it all remains a mystery, but it does explain the demon's manipulation of one's senses. Now that I'm back, I plan to tell Rama and Yao about this development, though it seems they stopped by in my absence. They installed a few Kappa-repellent gadgets outside my lab, and left a kind note with a plate of pea cookies. Picturing those two working together makes me smile. They seem on better terms lately. I hope the trend continues.
I hope so too. Gork's right, they're a cute couple. Alright, so what else have we learned, now that we don't have Kappas bothering us?
Case notes. Entry 7. Today was unusual. Rama visited. That wasn't unusual, though his demeanor was rather tender. However, Yao and Chomu also visited. Yao did most of the talking. Odd, as Chomu's keen on speaking for himself. Yao explained that Chomu had experienced hallucinations. I asked him to elaborate. Frequency, locations, etc. Rama made to leave, perhaps out of politeness, but Chomu told him to stay. He said it's better we're all made aware. He didn't go into much detail. His visions were of a deceased friend, and they only occurred in the lower mind. Rama pressed him about the other crew members, but Chomu claimed that none had voiced similar experiences. He originally chalked any behavioral discrepancies up to stress, but he realized too late that it may be something more. Chomu's account seemed credible, if not a bit slow, and there are another data point supporting mine and Timey's theory.
Okay. So, not everyone is having these issues. But he did. I think we've established these things target traumatic memories because, I mean, Almora's dead. And Air is dead. And Tybalt is not dead, but we're letting everyone believe that he is. And then, of course, Blish is also dead. If Chalmu is also seeing dead people, I mean, death is trauma. Maybe it's finding that level of trauma or something maybe more specific? But it seems to be targeting dead relations in some way. I'm not sure what to make of that. Maybe he has a better idea.
Something unbelievable just happened. Chomu visited again. Once certain we were alone, he began frantically rambling. He admitted that he'd left out details about his hallucinations because Yao was present. Early on, Chomu had worked on the forefront of the excavation. Alone one night, he heard someone run up behind him. Before he knew it, he was face down. He could hear the attacker hissing while bashing his head into the ground. Nearly unconscious, Chomu felt the attacker start chewing his leg. He suspects it may have been trying to eat him. With the strength he had left, he cast off the attacker. He sat up to see one of his captains, blood staining her mouth. Their struggle continued, edging closer to a mine shaft. To keep them from falling, Chomu tried to ram her backward. But in that moment, she lunged. Instead of hitting him, she flew over his back, free falling to the bottom of the mine. He was so shocked, he couldn't process it. His crew assumed the captain quit, as she'd recently been acting agitated. That's when his delusions began. He made me swear not to tell Yao, who'd known the captain. But I had to tell someone.
Damn. So, didn't happen until he was attacked by the captain. Could it be some kind of disease? I mean, if it's injury-based, well, we were down there. We were fighting the miners. We got injured. Perhaps that was the avenue it took to start affecting us. But what about Gorik? Was Gorik hurt? Well, maybe. Because we did fight those demons. If he was injured during the fight with the demons, then I mean, we were all injured to a certain degree. And then he was exposed to the haze in his lab. That might have done it. But let's see what else he's got.
Case note, entry 9. I have a confession. Despite Chomu swearing me to secrecy, I couldn't keep his story to myself. I paid Timey another visit and spilled everything. She was shocked, to say the least, but she was glad I confided in her. She echoed Chomu's request not to tell Yao. There's no use upsetting them. I couldn't bring myself to do so anyway. Still, I feel better getting it off my chest. And as Tiny pointed out, if I was stressed, imagine how Chomu feels. Between the guilt and the cruelty inherent in these delusions, it puts his behavior into perspective. While I was there, Tiny showed me something exciting. A prototype for a device that she, June, and Yao are working on. It's designed to control the stress response the demon seems to feast on, then channel that power back at it. It's based on my research findings, paired with Yao and June's Jade tech knowledge and Tiny's everything knowledge. We just might have a solution to our demon problem.
Okay, I'm not sure how you weaponize stress, but sure, I guess. If it works, it works. That's all we need to know. I'm not an engineer.
Case notes, entry 10. This is it! We've done it! Thank the alchemy! Tiny asked me to stop by as soon as possible. When I arrived, she, Yao, and June were putting the final touches on their newest invention! It boasts several features, not to mention a sleek design. I can't wait till the commander sees, though I need to keep reminding myself to treat it with sensitivity. The commander's role in our plan will likely be the toughest and most psychologically draining. Still, I'm on pins and needles for the invention's debut. Demon, here we come. Goric, out.
Okay, well, we've got something to work with then.
Done.
Okay. Letter from Goric. Good to know, but I think we'll hold on to that. I'm sure it's important, which is why I need Blizz here at the same time. Hopefully they made 2 of those things, because we're going to need them. I guess what we're going to do is we're going to head back in there with the new device. We'll be playing the role of bait again. Trying to attract this thing. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that. But okay, we can do this, and then if we've got the whole device thing worked out, and we can attack this thing with stress, I guess. I have no idea. Either way, we've got the device. Hopefully it works. If we're gonna have any chance, it better work. So I need to go track down Blizz. We got to find out what this device is and how it works. And from there, we'll just have to... I don't know. I'm sure Goric has a plan, because I don't. So, if you want to see what happens once we get a hold of that thing, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time these videos come out. If you know somebody else who's also into Guild Wars 2, then go ahead and share this video with them. But if you just like what we're doing, you like what we do, you like us, then leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time for more Guild Wars 2, and until then, take care.